Tonight, the city of Lagos
there is still a poor level of
Be the first to know from the north, south, east, west, and around Africa. We break the news.
One Nigeria.
Now you can catch all the actions live as the news breaks. We are Core TV News.
Welcome to Core
Our
TV
24-hour news station.
It's your ultimate news and current affairs show right here on Cool TV News Lagos, and thank you very much for finding time to join us. Now, as we count down to 2015, the major, what they call the general elections in Nigeria, there's a lot of talks as regards politics and how prepared INEC and indeed the electorates are for another major election. But we can't forget quickly the Ekiti and the Osun election, what many people have called the litmus test for what to come in 2015. Just August 9, we saw what happened at Osun State, where there was indeed a keenly contested election overseen by over 70,000 military operatives in that state. And there were lots of expectations, there were a lot of rumors, there were a lot of reactions, and even after the election, there are still allegations and counter allegations. The PDP was so sure that it will duplicate what transpired in Ekiti in Osun election. But of course, you and I know what transpired afterwards. So we're going to play a clip to show you what the mood was like after the election. When we come back, we'll kickstart with our discussion of the day. Stay with us.
Osogbo, since the news of Aregbesola's victory filtered into town, has become a carnival city of some sort. The governor was not left out as he joined the people in the victory celebration. The victory dance moved around major streets of Osogbo and caused traffic gridlock. Security agencies caught on the web when they spared the people's tantrums as they remember the alleged complicity of the Department of State Security in the period leading to the election. The governor, who is all out to felicitate with his party faithful, never minced words in his victory dedication.
Thank God and the people who God used to make it possible. That was my first reaction. We are getting ready for another round of hard work and deliberate commitment to the people. We see power as a huge responsibility. We will discharge that responsibility most effectively.
Recognizing that an election must produce a winner, Aregbesola extends hands of fellowship to other contestants and stated that Osun is a project for all.
They are welcome to partner with us for development of our state and nation and the upliftment of the status of the black man all over the world. We invite them to collaborate with us to enhance the efforts we are making to improve the condition of living of our people as a step towards ennobling the black man worldwide.
He, however, did not fail to tell anybody disgruntled with the outcome of the poll to approach the election petition tribunal if they are truly disgruntled.
If there is anybody that should condemn or decry the process and procedure of the election, we should be the ones. If they feel sufficiently disenchanted with the result of the election, the tribunal is open for them for litigation.
Rejection of the election result by the PDP notwithstanding, the fact remains that the people have decided through the ballot and renew their mandate in Governor Aregbesola for another 4 years. Rashid, Core TV News, Osogbo.
Aregbesola's second time around, what exactly are the expectations? There's this a general belief in the local parlance that when the politician gets a second term, he really doesn't do much again. He tries to finish up the projects he started in the first term, and then that goes on and on and on and on, and not much of development is really seen in the second term because it's not going to contest again. Well, we're joined this morning by the Commissioner of Information all the way from Osun State, Sunday Akere. Good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you for finding time to
join us. It's good to be here.
Good to see you. What's the mood like now at the Bolage House in Osun?
Well, for now, at the Bolage House in Osun, which is the seat of the government, the mood is relaxed, everybody is happy. The mood all over the state entirely now is that of celebration. Every day there's been one party or the other, people celebrating the victory of the will of the people over the forces of tyranny and oppression. And for those of us that are in government, the governor graciously knew that we put in so much into the electioneering and the election process. And at our executive council meeting of last week, he graciously approved that for those of us that might want to go on a little break, yes, he's giving us 2 weeks off to go and relax and at least regain some strength and flesh which we have lost during the election. But overall, in Osun, people are still celebrating.
I understand the Osun Osogbo Festival is also on.
Yes, the Osun Osogbo Festival is on, and tomorrow is supposed to be the grand finale, which is Friday the 22nd. But for us in Osun, we have been making a passionate appeal to our people all over the country, even all over the world, that for the Osun Osogbo Festival of this year, we don't want the kind of influx of people which we used to witness in years past. And we all know why.
Due to the Ebola threat. We're going to get there, but let's quickly do a brief overview of the election. Some would say, unlike the Ekiti election, the Osun result didn't come out as a landslide. In Ekiti, for instance, we saw the PDP winning all the 16 local governments. We saw APC winning this election with just a little over 100,000. A member of the Afenifere, who was also a part of the just concluded national confab, said the way it is now, no single political party can say proudly that it's in charge of the Southwest. What are your reactions?
The issues are clear. The result of the Ekiti election came to every one of us as a shock. Because when you talk of performance, the governor in Ekiti, Governor Kayode Fayemi, performed very well. And the people in Ekiti can see that this is a performing party and a performing administration. But probably in terms of preparation, when I say we, I mean the party in Ekiti took a lot of things for granted. And that was why the PDP was able to spring the kind of surprise they were able to bring up in Ekiti on the 21st of June. And the lessons from Ekiti made us in Osun to realize that it's not only performance that wins the election. We committed a lot, all of us in Osun, from the councillors at the ward level to the chairman of the council, honorable members, everybody took the August 9 election as our election. We charged ourselves that it is not the governor that is contesting on the 9th, it is all of us that is contesting. Okay. And that was why we were able to do what we did. For the outcome of the results in Osun, for PDP to even score as much as they did, still baffles us. Because in Osun, if it is in terms of performance, if it is in terms of acceptability, if it is in terms of relating to the people, we know that in any election, the least score we would have expected is 70-75% for Aregbesola. But when you see the kind of preparation put into the election by the opposition and the powers that be, because we keep saying it, the August 9 election in Osun was never an election between Aregbesola and Omishori. It was just like the biblical fight between David and Goliath. We are the David. And you know, in the Bible, when Goliath was going to fight David, it was stated that he put on jackets of iron, carried the best of armors, and When people saw the way Goliath dressed, they were shocked, they were afraid. And they said, David, can't you also wear a jacket of iron? He said, no, I'm going to appear simply as I am. And I don't even need more than this catapult and a stone. And that the battle is not mine. The battle is the Lord's.
So indeed, you agree that
Indeed,
the PDP is a Goliath in Osun. It talks about the
it's
structure.
not in Osun. What I am trying to bring out is that we fought the federal government,
Okay.
not the PDP in Osun. Under a normal circumstance in any election in Osun, PDP in Osun cannot score 100,000 votes. But we fought the federal government. You said it in your introduction that over 70,000 military operatives were brought into Osun for that election. I don't want to even use village. Hamlets where inhabitants never saw a soldier kitted and dressed. There was nowhere in Osun that soldiers did not get to for that election. So it was more of us winning a war. And it was God that assisted us, and we give all the victory to the people of Osun for their resolute determination that no matter the amount of harassment, intimidation, they are still going to stay with their man. That is Aregbesola.
You said earlier that you were surprised at the number of votes the PDP candidate was able to gather. Are you in any way insinuated that that election was rigged in favor of Omisore?
When you look at what happened in some local governments, especially the 4 local governments of Ife, you start asking yourself questions. Omisore comes from Ife. In the 2011 general election, when he contested for the Senate seat in that same place with Senator Wajiri Omoworare, Omisore did not win his ward. You now start asking, prior to the days of the election on August 9 in the entire area in Ife, intimidation, harassment, arrest and imprisonment was the order of the day. People that are not even, there is a particular local government there, Ife South. People by outsiders that are not real Ifes, they will come to you and tell you that if you know you are not voting for this man on Saturday, abandon your farm and leave this place. On the day of the election, it was worse in some areas where they will even tell you that only those of you that will vote PDP should come out. But at the end of the day, the will of the people prevailed. PDP themselves knows. Is it the amount of money they committed into the election? Brazenly, openly on the line, votes were being purchased. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 for a vote. Based on whatever your level and capability to negotiate with them. And the Wednesday preceding the election, we had a stakeholders meeting presided over by the chairman of INEC, Professor Jega, where it was stated that nobody must bring money to the polling booths. PDP leaders were doing it brazenly. It was more. There
were also reports that APC too distributed rice and cash to the electorate.
Issues are here. APC as a party in Osun, we have never spent a day in the 45 months tenure or 45 months of the first tenure of Aregbesola. We've never spent a day without recourse to the people that we are living with. For every celebration, if you go into the records, be it Ileya, Ramadan, Easter, Christmas, Aregbesola ensures that free train service is provided for the people to come. If you leave outside, to come from outside and spend the holiday in Osun. For all these celebrations, those of us that are political office holders, we distribute things to our followers.
Okay, just
so
like
it is not an issue that we didn't do any of such during the election. It was the PDP that brought truckloads of rice, kerosene. They brought rice, they brought kerosene, they brought vegetable oil, everything. And we should just give glory to God.
It's
because the election of Osun acted as a litmus test to even tell us whether we even still desire democracy in Nigeria.
What does this victory in Osun portend for the chances of APC in the southwest? Because unlike Osun, we have Ogun State that is partly divided, even within the APC party. or your Lagos states now, we are going to have a fresh candidate being fielded by the APC. In other states that used to be with the APC, there seems to be one problem or the other. What are the chances of the APC in 2015?
Well, the chances of the APC in the 2015 February general election,
especially in the Southwest,
especially in the Southwest, is bright. Because assuming, God forbid, assuming we lost the election of August 9 in Osun, it will have spelled doom for APC, not only in the Southwest, all over Nigeria. But the fact that we were able to win and win convincingly in Osun shows that there is hope for us. Yes, we are talking of division, you are talking of disagreement. There is still ample time for the leadership to mend whatever fences might have been broken in the states that you mentioned. We know that our leaders, we cherish that it is good for us. One thing they always say, the conservative, the PDP, is that they want to go to the center. A Yoruba man was president in Nigeria for 8 years. What did these Yorubas benefit? In my state in Osun, the state was under PDP rule for 7.5 years. Today, you can't point to anything they did in 7.5 years. The only thing conservative parties are known for is sharing the loot of office. And progressive parties, for which we represent, what we stand for is leaving a legacy of service and development.
Well, not quite a number of people will agree with you on that, but that's your personal opinion anyway. But let's quickly look at some issues that was brought up by the opposition during the election in Osun. One of it was the restructuring, that started that Governor Aregbesola brought to the schoolers in Osun State. The same uniforms, the regrouping and all of that. There were certain allegations that the contracts of the school uniform were contracted to some businessmen in Lagos. The Okoimo and all of that. That much of the resources that people were supposed to benefit, within Osun State was being given to some folks in Lagos. How do you react to that?
It's even good if they claim, just like you said, that the contract was given to some people in Lagos. If you go around Osun when they were campaigning, the insinuations they were bandying about falsehood, deliberate falsehood, was that the company that got the contract for the production of the school uniform was owned by the governor and his wife. When everybody knew very well that the contract was given to Sam and Sarah Garments. And one thing we do in Osun is this: thank God for the wisdom God gave Mr. Governor. We ensure that in whatever contract we are giving out, we ensure that the commoners, the grassroots people benefits. When we wanted to do the school uniform, the Executive Council in the state of Osun decided that, yes, if this contract is given to you as a company, the first condition is that you must come and establish your factory in Osun. Today, when you want to get to the secretariat, you will see the Omaluabi Sam and Sarah Garments factory. That is where the company is doing the school uniform. Over 3,000 Osun indigenes work there on a daily basis now. How do you now say this thing don't benefit the people? They are verifiable facts. When you are driving to Osogbo now, just about 200 meters from the state secretariat, before you get to the secretariat, you see the garment factory there.
The question that some have asked is, what now happens to those people whose basic means of living has been selling these clothes and sewing them to the school children?
We have never for once denied them of the benefits for whatever reasons. What the government did was, yes, we introduced new school uniforms. In introducing the school uniforms, we set up what we call the red shops all over. When this company finished with the school uniforms, the Ministry of Commerce will take the uniforms and give it to our people in the market to sell at a reduced price with their own commission added. The amount which the government announced as the prices for the uniform is the amount they will sell at those shops, but whoever sells there already has his or her own commission built into it. One thing we did is this. I will give you another example. When we started the OES, the Osun Youth Empowerment Scheme, in which the governor engaged 20,000 new hands. We ensured that the sewing of the uniform was given to Osun tailors. We called the National Union of Tailors in Osun, Nigerian Union of Tailors in Osun, and we said, okay, organize your members. When we brought in the khaki, we gave it to them to sew. That is the canvas, everything they were done in Osun. That is the kind of things we do. The tailors that are in Osun, they are still into good business. Majority of them, when we want to start this garmenting, we brought them and said, okay, we'll come for training at the Mowe headquarters of Sam and Sarah here. Okay. And after the training, they came back to Osun. They are the ones working in the factory there.
It's all right. What exactly is the ideology behind this school restructuring of a thing? Because at a point we heard that even students were divided along religious lines. Some are saying that certain schools have been built with certain traditions over the years, and bringing all of them together at this point will spell doom for those traditions and values.
Thank you very much. You know, when we came on board 45 months ago, we met the schools in Osun at a very, very deplorable level. In every 100 students that sits for the WAEC exam, only 3 passes with matriculable results. And as a responsible government, you don't expect us to just fold our arms and watch things to continue to deteriorate. The first thing Ogbeni did in February 2011 was convoking an education summit. The Education Summit was chaired by the Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka. We called together the parents, we called together the teachers, the students, everybody that has interest in developing education in Osun. The outcome of that summit is what we are now carrying out as our education reform policy. The sense in this is Osun, before we came, there were about 9 states that were chosen by the federal government as pilot states for the school feeding program. In the school feeding programs, only pupils in primaries 1 and 2 were being given free lunch. Just before we came, the federal government could not live up with its own commitment to the program. All the 9 states abandoned the program. When Aregbesola came, we decided that we are going to restart the school feeding program. When you have pupils in primaries 1 to 6, schooling together, and you say you want to give those in primary 1 and 2 food, free food, those in 3 to 6 will start wondering what kind of offense they may have committed. That was what brought about the idea of our elementary school, which is for those in primaries 1 to 4. We are giving free meal to over 250,000 pupils in primaries 1 to 4 in all the public schools in Osun. So, from the outcome of the reform summit, education summit, we now said, okay, we will regroup those in primaries 1 to 4 into elementary school, which we definitely benefit free lunch, which we are giving. For those in primary 5 to GS3, which is grade 5 to 9, they are in the middle school. And for those in SS1 to SS3, those are in the high school. They are in grades 10 to 12. They are the ones we are giving the computer tablets appointment free of charge. The essence of what we are doing is not probably disrupting the school system. There was so much noise about this program when we started because some people felt, it is the opposition that engineered the reading of religious meanings into our motive. They said, no, they want to put Muslim Islam over Christians. So that was why they are doing it.
But are there cases where schools that traditionally were Christian schools were
never
mixed up with Muslim schools?
I will give you an example. The school where we had the greatest agitation was Baptist High School in Iwo. 5 schools were brought together for the Baptist High School in Iwo today. All of them are Christian-based schools. Roman Catholic, High School, Anglican, St. Mary's, Baptist Grammar School, Old Baptist High School.
So what exactly happened when children came to school with hijabs and
good, thank you very much.
What happened at that time?
In these schools that were brought together before, there were some of the students that were wearing hijab even before the merger of the school. And we did not just wake up one day and say we want to merge. We discovered that when we did a review of the entire school system, we discovered that there were some schools, there was one particularly in Ikire local government, with 200 students, only 2 teachers. We find some school with about 50 students having more than 10 teachers. And if it is convenient for us to bring together to harness our resources for the best of all, that is what we did. Each of the new elementary schools that we are having, we have minimum of 900 pupils. Each of the middle schools, we have minimum of 1,200 students. While each of the high school, we have minimum of 3,000 students. By the time we bring them together, we'll be able to know, and in bringing them together, we ensure that we kept faithfully to the UNESCO standard that there must not be more than 40 students in a class.
Okay.
By the time we brought them together, we know that these are the areas where resources are lacking. Since we started this reform, the government of Aregbesola has recruited 10,470 teachers into the system. That is to tell you that those that are saying they will lose their job, they are only making noise where there is not supposed to be any. We brought schools together, schools that were not wearing, and let us note this. When we introduced this new school uniform, we distributed 750,000 pieces of uniform to all the 750,000 students in the public schools in Osun. The government never gave a single hijab.
It's all right. Honorable Commissioner, we're going to take a break now. When we come back, I would love to ask you as regards where this food is coming from. Are they produced in Osun? There were also allegations that your Poimo was contracted to a son of the governor. Those are things we read in the newspapers, and those were issues that we got from the opposition. I've been speaking with the Commissioner of Information Osun State, Sonny Akere, and he'll be back with us after this timeout. Stay tuned for the top of the hour news. Don't go away.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of
The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
Until the end of our time, I'm the legitimate authority to govern this country.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
To anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of Osun State and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on OT News.